action figure fans? Once again, it's the one and only Optibotimus coming at you with another video review. And on today's episode, thanks to the absolutely incredible contributions from all of my Optibotimus Plus channel members, we're going to be taking a look at the new NECA Toys Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Pizza Monster. For some reason, I've always loved these guys. They appeared in the original animated series towards the beginning, I want to say like early season 2, and just something about them, maybe the fact that they kind of resemble the Xenomorphs from Alien, just I always thought was cool. And I was super excited when NECA decided to actually release these. For the package, absolutely gorgeous. Very similar to what they've been doing before in terms of making these look like those old VHS tapes. You got Michelangelo there in the front in his little floaty thing eating some pizza, and then you got the pizza monster coming up from the back. That's really cool. I dig that. Come around the side, you got that same kind of information basic on the side here. Volume 7. Again, I think it's like the 7th Ultimate figure or something. Same thing here on that side. Come around to the back. Gorgeous cartoon images. Hopefully, we do get a human version of a Baxter. That would be a nice addition. I don't know what they would kind of pair him up with, but that would be kind of cool. And interestingly enough, they give an actual read-up here, where most of the time they just give you kind of a generic explanation about the turtles. This actually goes into detail about them. So if you want to read it, go ahead and pause it right now. And then when you come around to the front, you have a Velcro-style opening. You got an image of him there. And then this guy's big. Like really very surprising. And then you can see all the accessories right there. The only problem that I have with this is in the episode, there were 3 of them. One that both Irma and April, Vernon as well, were kind of dealing with, and then 2 that the Turtles had to deal with. So, you can't just get one of these. The problem, though, is NECA made it where it was a limit of only 2 per person. So, to be cartoon accurate, I got a second one. But as I said, it was only 2 per person. So I had to utilize my girlfriend and have her get me a third. That way, I can have the whole group of them. But for the package on these guys, that's about it. So without further ado, let's get them out here and see how cool they actually are. Alright guys, so here we have the Pizza Monster opened up and out of its packaging. And I'm going to warn you right now, there is going to be some good in this review and there's going to be some bad in this review. And the bad is going to make me say words that I probably shouldn't say in a toy review. So you've been warned. If I offend you, I apologize, but it's just one of those things that I have to talk about. Starting off first with his accessories. You can see he comes with a few of them. He has a little control device. This is what they used to kind of control them of sorts. Real nice paint detail on here, as you would always expect with NECA. The paint detail is pretty good. Paint feels a little bit cheap in terms of the quality of it, I guess. We get that a lot with paint chipping and things of that nature, but accessory-wise, it's pretty decent. I mean, there's nothing articulated in it, so you're not going to have any paint chipping like you would on the figures. But you can see you got the little screen right there, a whole bunch of knobs and diodes. You have some wires along there, what look like little electro thingies up at the top. So you do get one of those. You also do get the pizza that originally was used to kind of lure the turtles into taking these monsters. So originally these monsters start off as basically like little meatballs. Those are the eggs of them. And then when they're, I don't know if it's just heated up or if it has something to do with like energy from a microwave, they hatched. So what Baxter and Shredder did was rig a actual contest where the turtles won pizzas. Those pizzas then got replaced with other ones. So the turtles got pizzas that were perfectly fine. Or there was like one pizza that was bad. And then the rest of them went out to like April and Irma. The meatballs were put on there. And then when April and Irma put the pizza in a microwave, it hatched. So you do get a box of that UFO pizza. You see, it's very simple in terms of the overall design. It's very similar to what it looked like. So while it definitely looks like a kid drew this, it's fairly accurate. And then it can open up, and then you get a full pizza. It's a little bit softer of a rubbery material. What kind of disappoints me in this is that there are no meatballs with these. I really wish that they would have put like a sculpted meatball on there. I mean, you can see like pepperonis and things like that, but like a actual little ball, on there, that would have been cool. I don't know why they didn't do that. I feel like they could have done it and just decided not to. But you can put that in there, close it up, and you got a pizza box. There is a weird kind of shape to it, which, again, kind of accurate in terms of the overall design of it. So you do get that. Now, they do give you the baby pizza monster. We've gotten this before. Nothing is different with that. But you can see that when they first hatch, they have this reddish sort of look to it. Great detail on this entire thing as well. You got the black eyes, you have the white teeth, good sculpt. The red looks really nice, or reddish orange really for the most part. So you can always have it like this as a display. I think that's fairly fun. But like I said, I do really wish that they actually gave us the little meatball section. Now, when they would grow, they would, they had to jump in water to grow. And then they grew into this. And this guy's actually really very cool. I love the way that he looks. They nailed it perfectly. It does, as you can see, have that very xenomorph sort of looking appearance to him. I don't know if that was an homage in general, or if it was just something that they kind of thought of doing. But very, very cool. Very large as well. Now you can see he's squatted down. Bringing in the Leonardo figure, you can see just how big he is. And that's not even him fully standing. They did have like a little bit of a squat sort of pose to him, so you can get him standing a little bit taller. Get the like ankles and all that stuff, kind of get him situated, and you kind of have to balance him because he does have a weird center of balance, especially with the tail right there. But you can see just how big he really gets, and I love it. I think it works absolutely beautifully. NECA, in terms of the look, nail these Ninja Turtle figures, both cartoon and movie ones. There are issues that always exist with a NECA Ninja Turtle figure, and unfortunately, I did run into some problems, and I'll show that off here in a bit, but the overall design is very, very nice. You do have a very rubberized tail here. It does have a bendy wire in there, so you can actually position that, and you can see the little air holes down there, so you can move that kind of around and position that. It does have a weird flex to it, but I mean, it is what it is. But this is a separate piece that you have to plug in, which is a little bit problematic. But you can see overall great design. I love the panel lines. Well, not really panel lines, just the little muscular lines throughout the entire thing. You do have that cell shading again here in the back, where the dark is on the back side of them. The lighter section here is on the front. I feel like it's kind of weird though, because I don't know. Maybe you're supposed to position the tail like that because it's I don't know. That's just the way that it, I guess, apparently is. But I mean, you got some really vibrant yellow colors. I love how they have a little bit of white on here to kind of give a little bit more of a bright look to it. Got the big ugly head, big ugly mouth. Everything on there is just amazingly detailed and looks exactly how he should look. Now, the problem that I have again, and this is the part where I'm going to get angry about things, is I bought 3 of these, as I showed you before, because there were 3 of these guys in the episode, and again, these all look fantastic together. I'm absolutely loving how this looks, but you got to deal with the bullshit quality control that NECA employs. This figure here, out of the box, the ankle was broken. I'm going to put a picture right here. You can see, I didn't even touch it. I took it out of the package, and I didn't even try to articulate him. It was already broken. Now, I know, we as collectors have a lot of things that we complain about. One of my biggest complaints is the fact that these figures you had to get through their website, and then we waited forever to really get them. And I do not know if they're going to be releasing them at Target stores. So what I ended up having to do was completely glue this ankle on it. You can even see like there's some like scuffing on here. So I feel like this was just forced in there or something like that. But this has been glued permanently now. So I cannot articulate his ankle. All the articulation has to be done in the legs and everything, which, you know, he still stands there. I mean, I got him where he's going to be able to stand, so he's going to display nicely. It's just absolutely annoying that we have to deal with this kind of crap. And it's something that is very common with NECA figures. I don't know why. I mean, I collect all sorts of different ones. And for as long as I can remember, going all the way back to the day where I would collect the Alien figures or the Terminator figures, their quality control is absolute shit. It literally just makes me think that they cheap out considerably on a lot of the materials that they use to make their figures. Number one, the paint thing, we've always seen that. I mean, here's a fleck of it right there. I mean, from just moving things around. The paint chips off, predominantly in the joint area, so that's at least not too terribly bad. But whatever paint they're using is subpar. The plastic quality is not very good. You can feel a lot of these, and it has a very cheap feeling plastic to it. And I don't know a single company where you, every single time, have to heat up the joints so that it like melts the plastic so that you can actually articulate the figure. Really, I don't know what their deal is. And I know they're a smaller company and it has a much more niche kind of appeal, but I gotta say this. I really wish that NECA did not have the license. I love what they do. They nail it. But when I look at a company like Super 7, that's exactly the type of company that I want to have this license. Now granted, Super 7 does do Ninja Turtle figures, but they do Ninja Turtle figures based on the original vintage action figures. And I never hear people having the level of problems with the Super 7 figures that we always have with the NECA ones. To me, it's just completely unacceptable. And I know a lot of people are going to say, well, then why do you buy them, Paul? Well, it's because literally these are the only figures from the show, from the movies, whatever, that we've ever gotten with this level of accuracy. As much as I hate the company that makes them, I shouldn't really say I hate the company, I just hate what they do. We are stuck with them because they're the only ones doing these. And it sucks. It totally sucks. Well, like I said, at least I'm able to mitigate this by being able to glue that on there to have them stand there. I'm okay with that, but it shouldn't be that way. And as of late, their customer service has tanked as much as the quality of the figures. You can't go on social media like you used to be able to do and talk to them and get the customer service to respond and maybe get a replacement. Hell, Randy barely goes on there and interacts with fans anymore. Probably because he's terrible at it, let's be honest, when it comes to those Twitter interactions, but he's basically disappeared as well. So, I don't know. It's annoying, it's frustrating, it's all of the above. And I do love the way that these figures look. I just wish there was better quality put into them. Articulation-wise, you can see that the top section here has a ball joint. The lower section of his neck also has a ball joint, so you get a good range of motion with that. You can see earlier you can articulate his jaw up and down. Great detail on the inside here. You got like the little dangly tongue or throat thing in there as well, which is cool. The pink tongue, all that. You do have a pin hinge joint here for the shoulders. You can move that forward and back, in and out. He does have two elbow joints, so you get a good range of motion there, and both of those have a rotation in it, so you can articulate that however you see fit. You have rotation at the wrist itself. That rotates around, hinges forward and back. You do have an upper diaphragm ball joint, which does get you a pretty decent range of motion. But again, because the sculpt in this case is kind of like an oval, it's a little bit more limited in terms of what kind of rotations and things you can do. Hips are on ball joints, but you can see that it does kind of look a little ugly with the giant gap right there when you kind of spread things out. You almost have to put it like that, but then it makes them look like the legs aren't straight or something. I have no idea. You do have a rotation at the upper part of the thigh as well. You do have two bends here at the knee. The ankles do move forward and back. One thing I will say, though, I don't think that they're meant, and again, like I can feel like it pulling the pin right there. So I don't feel like the articulation is really all that good in the ankles, and I don't want to force anything with it, so I'm just gonna leave that alone. It's definitely, I mean, that does feel really weak and wobbly there, so that's I'm not a fan of the ankles for sure. So there does seem to be some weakness in there. So like I said, maybe they forced it in the package at the factory and it broke it off, so I have no idea. You do have a ball joint here at the tail for a good range of motion. Then, as I talked about, you do have a bendy wire in there, so you can kind of flex that around, which is cool. But again, rubber with the bendy wire, I tend to get nervous over time how that's going to work. But I love the way that the figure looks. I think that he's super fun. I think he's super cool looking. I just do not like the quality that they put into their pieces. I feel like it is, without a doubt, subpar for a company that has been around for as long as it has been. To not address it and fix it is really frustrating. So there you go, guys. There's my look at the new NECA Toys Pizza Monster from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon. Ultimately, I would recommend them if you're a Ninja Turtle fan. And again, I say that because we don't have any other versions of these to go with. So that's literally the only reason I can recommend it. Be aware that the quality, I feel, is definitely lacking on him and is not up to what it really should be for a mass release product. And I also don't know if he's going to be coming out to Target stores, because as the cartoon turtles are, he should be a Target exclusive, but I don't know if they're going to be releasing him at Target. So if you're looking for him, good luck and happy hunting. But beyond that, guys, that's about it. Once again, I want to send a huge shout out to all of you who watch and enjoy my videos. And as always, remember that the real trouble with the world is that too many people grow up. Thank you all for watching and taking the time to be a kid.